So in terms of leaders supporting staff well-being, I think we need to look at this from a number of levels, and it's certainly what we're doing in our own organisation. So, things throughout this second lockdown have been incredibly pressured, incredibly busy, and they're really made more complex by the fact that people are coming at this for the second time, so they know what to expect. And in some ways that helps, but in some ways it doesn't, because people are worried, they're anticipating the worst. So I think the first thing we need to do as leaders is to demonstrate that we've learnt from the first round. So show people what's different, how we've listened to them, how we've understood them, and do small things to change that working environment where we can. I think that's really, really important. I think the second thing we can do is make sure that we're listening and understanding the really specific things that different teams are telling us about their experiences. So are we making sure that they've got everything they need to do their jobs effectively? Are we listening to the patterns of their workload to make sure that we can ensure that they can work as smoothly as possible despite these really difficult external pressures that are on them? And then thirdly, we all need to remember that we're all people at the end of the day. And I think one of the things that we can do as leaders across the healthcare sector is understand the individual experiences of our staff. So I would say that the one thing I've learned is never to use that phrase "at least," because thinking about saying at least you're still in a job, or at least you've got people in your house, or at least you've still got somewhere to go every day, that can feel incredibly undermining for people, because my at least isn't the same as someone else's at least. So I think really walking in other people's shoes, understanding their pressures and thinking about what they need. There's a whole host of things we can do as leaders. I think the fundamental one, however, is to look after ourselves so that we can look after other people. In terms of maintaining my own well-being, I suppose the first thing I have to say is that I probably don't take my own advice, but on the rare occasions that I do, I know I feel so much better for it. So, I'm always telling other people it's really important to go outside, to go for a walk as often as you can if you're working from home day in, day out. I rarely do that, but I do know that when I do it, I feel so much better. So being outside, going for a walk, being in nature, if that's humanly possible. The second thing I would say is having a routine, and I have been better at that. As soon as I established a routine in the first lockdown, I think my days went much better. So staying in contact with people, checking in each morning, making sure that you're actually taking a lunch break, making sure that it's not Zoom call and Teams call back to back. Really, really important. Everyone's saying it. It's really hard to do, but it is very, very important. And the final thing that maintains my well-being really is actually sitting down with a box set most evenings. And we're in the second lockdown now, so it's difficult to be with other people. So I think I've found a friend through Netflix.